Yes, people, OMONDI Juma here with Kahinde, my brother, and we're here to do a post-match review of Man United 1, Everton 1. Yes. Greetings. Good afternoon, everyone. How is everybody out there? We're not so great out here on the Man United agenda. We've just witnessed the afternoon kickoff. We drew 1-1. Maybe we should have had the 3 points. It would have been great to have the 3 points. But unfortunately, they came back and they equalised. So here with me today is Kahinde. How are you, Kahinde?
Not so good. Not so good after that result.
Not so good, yeah. Just to start off, I know I was just having a shower. You can see I'm still a bit wet. And I was singing. I put on my playlist in the shower, and one song came on, one of your favorite singers. And I just want to sing a couple of lyrics to you because it's about how we feel right now. And just tell me if you know the song and the singer. What's there to say? There's not much to talk about. Whatever happened to all of the loving we had?
Got to be Luther. Yeah.
It's Luther Vandross. Give me the reason to love you, Ollie. Give me the reason to love you, Ollie.
Yeah.
How can I forgive and forget? No. So we both tuned into the game. We're both disappointed. I'm sure everyone's disappointed because our Prem form is not great at the moment. What should we do? Should we start with the lineup?
Yeah.
So I'll just read up the lineup and then just I want you to have a little discussion about it. So we had De Gea in goal. Wan-Bissaka right back, Lindelof, Varane, Shaw was left back, Fred and McTominay in midfield, Martial started for once, Bruno number 10, Greenwood on the right, and Cavani up front. Any thoughts about the starting lineup, Kahinde?
Well, it was a surprise Ronaldo not starting, especially with the form he's been on and the week that he had. I do understand that we've got a big squad and there's got to be some rotation. I just think this was the wrong day for it because Ronaldo's in form. He's our top goal scorer. This wasn't the right time to do it. Also, just some concerns about Luke Shaw and McTominay. I feel like they've been rushed back too quickly from the injury. And, McTominay's had that operation and he's come straight in and he's played full 90 minutes games. And you can see he's dead on his feet, man. You could see it. Shaw wasn't that sharp today. Was he really fit? I don't know. So I just think that maybe Ollie should have started with Tellez and
okay.
midfield.
So let's start. So let's just talk about Shaw then. So you're saying he might have had an injury.
Well, he didn't play in the midweek for Champions League game because
of course.
It's something to do with ill and he'd been ill and having a knock, but he didn't look his usual self today. He didn't look that sharp, and I just think it's the last game before an international break. So, this momentum, let's finish off and then they could have their time off or whatever. Okay. Let's start with a stronger lineup,
I saw Shaw, he went in for a sliding tackle and got like a bit of afters and had an injury from that. But otherwise, on my match report, I put here that he's raiding. This is especially in the first half. He was raiding a lot. He's getting up and down the pitch, looking pick up the ball, 1-2 touch with Martial, looking pretty good. So, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because Tellez has come in and done a pretty good job.
Yeah, and if you're going to do rotation, I just think he's just rushing these players back. I don't think Shaw was like awful today. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's like 100% fit.
Okay.
You could say something about the goal. Should he have rushed to that side so quickly?
Hold that thought. We're gonna get to all that. Yeah. I see. You got a lot to say. So just going into midfield, we had Fred and McTominay. We're gonna discuss all every in detail later. But you're shaking your head. That's a big no-no for you. And Martial. Yeah, let's just focus on Martial. So Martial returned today. Do you think that was a good selection?
well, he scored, didn't he? So, it's something, he hasn't had a lot of game time, and I think Ollie wanted to give him a start. He obviously wanted to give Cavani a start also. I mean, he literally begged Cavani to stay one more year, and to not be starting him, it's a bit of a kick in the face, because he could be.
So about Martial though, what do you think about Martial's performance?
Well, the thing is, my thing with Martial is, a couple of seasons ago he had a good season for us, and he was starting as a main striker.
Yeah.
And now, because of Ronaldo and Cavani, he's been shifted back up to the left wing. So again, it's like he's 26 now, and he's reverting back to his old position. And it's just things like that. I just think what concerns me about Martial is he needs to establish himself. He's been here for a number of years. He hasn't really established himself as a permanent starter and everything else like that. So I thought he did all right today, because obviously some will argue that he is best on the left.
Yeah. But what do you think though? Well, what do you think his best position is?
I think with the players that we've got for our squad now, his best position would be striker, because I wouldn't put him ahead of Sancho or Rashford on the left, or Elanga coming through, anyone like that. I think he's had that experience playing central strikers.
I think. Right, let's discuss this. I think he's better on the left, because as a striker, he's played there several times. We can easily judge him because he's played there several times. I don't think he's suited for that role. I think he's better playing from the left, cutting in, squaring up defenders and driving at them. He's got such nice little dribble. I'm looking at his strengths. His strengths are his little touch dribble, give and go, that sort of thing, cutting inside. He's not a great predator, as you saw with the header that Wan-Bissaka crossed for him, nice floated header to the back post. He doesn't finish his dinner. He's not got striker attributes in that sense.
No,
look at Sancho. You wouldn't play Sancho striker. He had a shot on goal today, which is a bit tame, that sort of thing. So I want to see a striker who can just finish his dinner, that sort of thing. So I think Martial's better as a left winger. What do you think? What's your pros?
You made some really good points, because probably one of the reasons why we signed Cavani and then Ronaldo afterwards is we needed more predators in the box. Whereas Martial, he had that good season a couple of years ago where he was playing striker and he scored 23 goals. That was his best season. So he did well for us that season as a striker. That was his best season. But in certain games, big games where you need predators and important goals, no strikers who know where to be, Cavani and Ronaldo, they're the players that you're looking at. But it's competition, because who's Martial got in front of him as central strikers? Ronaldo and Cavani. Who's he got in front of him on the left wing? Rashford and Sancho. This is very difficult. Should we loan him out in January? What should we do? Because we're going to lose Cavani next year. He's going to World Cup next year. He's going to want game time. Same with Van der Beek. They're going to all want game time. So it's the rotation. It has to be spot on and at the right times.
Okay, fair enough. You make some good points. Can you just give me a little argument, pros, for him being a striker then?
Well, the only thing that I could say is that I just think Rashford can't play there, and Rashford and Sancho are better left wingers than Martial, I think.
So basically you're saying
it's really out of Rashford and Martial, because Rashford, he's definitely not good enough to play as a central striker. Okay. And I just, from the evidence that we've seen, Rashford and Marcel, when they had that season a couple of years ago, they both got 20.
Sorry, just going back, I'm not trying to twist you up, but you said that you would play, he's better as a number 9. Is it because of the selection?
It's because of the players that we have.
Oh, right. Okay, I get you.
Because of the competition. And I just saying that the best season we've seen of Martial and Rashford is when Rashford was on the left and Martial was in centre, and they both scored 23 goals. So based on that, that's what I'm going to go on. Yeah.
All right. So we have Bruno, Greenwood, and Cavani up front. What do you think Cavani today is his opportunity to come in to the side? How do you think he played, considering he's been sitting on the bench behind Ronaldo?
I thought he did all right. His movement's always good. I don't think he's like 100% that sharp. I think he had a chance with a header. It probably came a little bit late, like he saw it late maybe. His anticipation wasn't quite
Good morning, there. No, he done a good morning. Nodded down,
yeah. But I mean, why was he taken off? Did he have a knock, or
I really don't know.
Promise Ronaldo, I'll give you 30 minutes. I don't know.
All right, so we established we're both disappointed. We've talked about the selection. There's a few changes. Unlucky Solo, he didn't get it right this time. I don't think anyone would have got this, would they? That was a real tough one. So Solo's about 3 or 4 players out. So the first half we're playing. I'll just give you my quick summary from me for the first half. I thought we were playing okay. There were a few issues maybe on the break with Gray and Townsend. But we were probing. We had them in the back foot. I think at halftime percentage was something like 65% to Man United. We had more passes than them. So they were on the back foot. Typical. And it seems like every game this season, it seems the same sort of stats. We've got them on the back foot, 65%. But then like Wolves, like today, like other games, like Villarreal the other day, they're getting more some good chances on the break on us. Yeah. So that's, to me, that's a major issue on the break. So it suggests to me, if that's the case, we should be positioned enough. If we are raiding or playing in their half, there should also be some defensive responsibility where someone sits back and just say, right, I'll cover just in case. But what I was seeing today, what kind of frustrates me, because it's about shape and positioning. I'm seeing Fred playing it into feet and going beyond the ball. And I'm thinking, no, just hold back. We don't need to do that. And obviously, we talk about their goal, but for their goal, as a guy who's supposed to be defensively sound, he got shoved off the ball by someone who looks wiry and not very strong in Gray. And I found that was a bit, for me, that's a bit, nah, that's not acceptable. But, so what do you think of the first half?
I agree with you. There were some good moments in the first half, like possession and all that. But again, the counter-attack is the weakness again, with us. And we shouldn't be all over the place. It's like there's no organisation. And obviously the reason is, I'm going to go back to the midfield. It's Fred again. It's like he's supposed to be this, he's learning this role as a CDM and all that. But we're Manchester United. We're not Stoke. We don't convert a player into this or whatever. We should have these specialists already there, And I've too many times this season, I've seen him just edged off the ball. Like, that's, for a midfielder, that is not good. He just bullied, and they probably targeted him. Gray probably thought, yeah, I could get him. He was probably he was like, yeah. Probably say pre-match, just edge him out. And I just think, Fred, if you've got those limitations, if you're weak or something, get the foul in. If you're not sure or whatever, that's where and that counter attack was wrong. And I think McTominay's position wasn't good for the goal. Because he was level with Townsend, and then he stopped running, and then Townsend, got the brakes on him, and then
hold on, we'll get on to the goal. Let's talk about the first half. So I'm talking about with the first half. What's your summary? What did you think about the shape? Obviously, they had a few counter-attacks. I was saying about Fred, positional shape kind of thing. But do you think I think Wan-Bissaka had a few more crosses. He seemed to be raiding a bit more, maybe. What do you think about our probing? Are we getting better? Are we improving in that sense?
Yeah. Wan-Bissaka was lively in the first half. I thought
in general, as a team, how are we probing better?
The tempo was quite good. We'll try and pass quickly and everything else like that. It wasn't a bad performance, but I still wasn't enjoying it, because I just felt that at some point, we looked like they had lapses, like where we looked vulnerable. And like you were saying about the positioning and all that on the counter attack, and it's been a big issue this season, us on the counter attack. But the tempo was good. We started the game well, and we got the goal. But then, obviously, it's not just about the first half, is it? It was the 90 minutes. We've got to manage the game for 90 minutes.
Yeah. So also in the first half, I'm trying to be positive here. I was quite happy about. I've been saying we need to sort of have a bit more raiding, give us a bit more offer, more from the fullbacks, maybe. So Luke Shaw done his thing. He was going up and down. I like the way Wan-Bissaka was overlapping a bit. He got a nice cross in from Martial at the back post, that kind of thing. And there's a couple of times he looked a bit more comfortable on the ball, and his distribution was okay. So I'm happy to see him, seeing Dalot doing a good job. I know everyone was saying the other day against Villarreal, Dalot got down and all this kind of thing, but I thought Dalot played well. So I'm happy to see Wan-Bissaka offer us a little balance on both flanks now, where he's going forward and giving us a bit, contributing to some chances, and what Martial maybe should have finished. So what we'll talk about our goal now, because that happened in the first half. So what I was really happy about, which I spoke about on the show earlier in a watch along, went on at half time. I said that Everton, they're tight. Benitez has got his 4 centre backs, and we play in defence often together. They shuffle in, they're really compact like that. So what we had, when they come out wide, we go out wide. They come out wide with us. Godfrey had left Martial, you know, Martial's on the touchline, but they're so organised they can get across. If the ball gets shifted, they get across like that. But we played the ball really quick. Greenwood into Bruno. Bruno played it into Martial. And Godfrey didn't have time to get out there, and we scored the goal. And that's what I like to see us doing, like moving them across, them across, because clearly they're very compact, very thing. So the only way to beat them is to move the ball quickly, and then we can get an opportunity to score like that, which we did. So I was really over the moon about that. Anything to add to the goal and how we? Because the thing is, we have to start. Kende, we have to start thinking about how do we score our goals? What are our what's our identity to scoring goals? Do we see the same pattern where how we score goals? Passes across the 6-yard box, breaking teams down, shuffling teams all over the place. What with our percentage that we have advantage on people now? What, you know, that's my thing. So what do you think about the goal? And the
goal was good, but it was something that we're familiar with. Bruno, I think, got the assist, that sort of layoff that he does, where, you know, he laid it off so Martial could just shoot kind of, you know, good into you know, a very good ball into the box. But again, it's like I feel like we're starting to establish a bit more patterns of play, and especially like you said about the fullbacks. You know, that's what the good thing that I was seeing. And I really like what happened with the goal and everything else like that. And I like what Martial did, and that's something that, you know, his early days, he was good at that position. He's very dangerous from that position. And we kind of stretched him out, and, you know, that's what we should be doing. But you know, other than that, what else did we really do?
We had a chance with didn't Cavani had the header that was from another ball delivered in, and he was headed it down. We spoke about that. That was a good chance. Martial should have scored with a header to the back post from when Saka floated the ball over, which was really nice. Good to see him doing that. So there's 3 good, clear opportunities where we could have had a goal or 2. You know,
and I think that
we are creating
the tempo. The tempo was good. We saw good, fast tempo. Which was good. Normally we start games too slow, so it was a good start.
And so obviously, clearly, Everton had a few opportunities in the first half from the break again. There must be a game plan now to sort of play it against Manchester United. We've seen it with top coaches like Rafa today. We saw it midweek with Good Evening, the guy, ex-Arsenal coach, multiple Europa League winner. Then we've seen it with Dean Smith as well. And Wolves as well. They're all trying to hit us on the break and go beyond our midfielders and attack our defence like that at pace. And they get into the box and create opportunities. There was a few chances where we had to do last-ditch challenges or studs. Lindelof, for example, the first half, he stood up to one, turned his back, but he was there in front of the ball for, I think it's Decore or one of the guys. And there's a couple other occasions where Everton played a few dangerous balls and we had to put a stop to that. So overall, first half, we went in, we were quite comfortable. And then it's a case of, what do you say at half-time, Zeke? What would you say at half-time if you were Ollie?
I mean, you got to obviously talk on the positives about half-time. If I was in the changing room, I'd just say keep it going, but keep the focus, especially positioning off the ball. That's what the main thing is, you know, because we saw the dangers from the counter-attacks. Where should these players be? Players like Fred and all that, you know, especially on the counter off the ball. And I think for me personally, if I was in the dressing room, if I'm Ollie and I'm sticking with Fred and McTominay, we've got to kind of establish about where they should be off the ball and who they should be tracking and things like that. And obviously in the second half, this is what happened. This is why we conceded, because I think they switched off a bit.
So at half-time, you're in the change room as coach, and you're saying to them, we've done well, we're 1-0 up, now we want to get the 3 points. But the dangers that we've witnessed in the first half, what we just spoke about, is them counter-attacking us at pace when we give the ball away, even though we've got 65% possession.
Right.
So you're saying that we should have not said go out there and get another goal, maybe said just go out there, be responsible with the ball and have a bit of shape, so they have to play through us rather than run at us as they did.
Keep the tempo, but like you always say, manage the game, because it's again 90 minutes.
So for me, I agree. I would have been saying to the guys, all right, we're 1-0 up. Now we want to manage the game and see it out professionally. So that we've seen a lot of good coaches like that do that. Like you could say in the Italian league years ago, Juve go 1-0 up. That's it, game over. You might as well go home at half time. Sort of, you know what I mean? With good management, with good tactical awareness, teams like that would know, right, we shut it down and suffocate teams and know you're not going to score against us now. But unfortunately, we've been conceding goals in most of our games, haven't we? There's a stat that said we've conceded more goals at home consecutively now for more than for years. You know, I don't know exactly, but I'm sure someone will come with that. So second half we come out and we're still probing, we still got dominating the game in a sense. Can you remember much about the second half? Do you reckon we controlled the game in the second half?
I don't know about controlled the game. We had it was a little bit like the first half. There was moments again, but I just felt uneasy. I felt there was a bit of a vulnerability there, you know, and we needed to get that second goal definitely. And I thought we were quite capable of getting the second goal, even when it went back to 1-1. We were quite capable of still winning the game. And those substitutions were made quite early, like 55 minutes, Ronaldo and Sancho on. And I'm not too sure why, you know, was it to do with the flow of the game? What was the reasons behind that substitution at that time, you know?
Speaking of substitutions, we're going to take a little time out now and bring on some comments from the guys. And also, I just want to say to you guys, we're close to get 1,000 subscribers now. So if you like the Man United agenda, we're nearly there. If you like the Man United agenda, please tell your friends about it and subscribe. Get everyone to subscribe, because the first person to get 1,000 subscribers, do you know what happens, Kahinde?
What happens?
They get a signed Bruno shirt. Imagine that.
Imagine.
You know? Straight from the man himself. So hopefully you guys would be subscribing and spread the word about Man United agenda. We're always delivering. So let's go to the comments. He's got TalkMU. Done a great watch along today. He said big up. Hi Reese 90. He says Ollie out. He says get that fool out of my club. No swearing, please. He says talk about effing manager. So he's really upset. Excuse. Yeah, you're excused. You're excused. So there's a lot of upset here. People are a bit upset. Andy Herbert, Arsenal fan, he says, big up Omondi Kahinde. On others United streams, they said that Martial was man of the match and rated him as a 7, and the rest of the team were like a 5 and a 3 rated. But we know the Man United agenda is the best United stream, of course. Hello, Playmaker. Playmaker says, Ollie has had 3 years, no trophy, 450 million spent. Ollie out, Eric, the Ajax coach, Ten Hag, Eric set up is a 4-3-3 and play free flowing attacking football. Interesting. Our boss Solo, how you doing, Solo? Big up, man. And you're laughing because you didn't get it right. I know the time of that because I mentioned about your Solo always does his lineup before the game. He's always spot on, but unfortunately today he was well off. Andy Herbert says, yeah, Solo was way offline in this game. Talk about the lineup again. Hit the like and subscribe, guys. Please do that. When Arsenal beat Brighton, they're going to be 2 points behind us today. And it's 1-1 Chelsea, Southampton. Well done, Southampton.
Yeah, they've got some good results. They've got a good result against Man City, a draw against us, and draw against Man City as well.
That's tremendous, isn't it? They're a good coach there. Vaughan says, to be fair, we did control the game, and both chances for Everton came from transitions from a clearly unfit Shaw and McTominay. Kahinde, do you want to you're on the same page as this?
I said they rushed back too quickly. And, you know,
good shout. Matt from Football United TV says United said, Omondi said it would be a draw. I got it right. Matt saying, Omondi, I said it would be a draw. I got it right. Be careful in the second half at 1-0 up. Yeah, you did that. You did say that. You've been saying that a lot. And everyone was frowning at you, thinking, oh, don't be so miserable. But you're a realist. You see it. You must, know how we've been playing lately. So, yeah, we've done comments. Obviously, there's one or two people a bit upset there. Are you upset, Kahinde?
I'm always upset when United don't win, and they probably should. And again, I'm just concerned really because it's the home form for me. I think last season the reason why we weren't in the title race is because our home form was really poor. We didn't lose away, and we lost 6 games. City lost 6 games, but our home form, too many draws and too many times we should have won, we didn't. And the reason why, again, I said the home form is poor is because you can't be playing McTominay and Fred at home. You know, we're supposed to be Man United attacking football, and to me, it's a negative playing those two. You know, at home, it just doesn't make sense. I just think, why? We've got a man like Paul Pogba on the bench, one of the best midfielders in the world, and you're choosing to play McTominay and Fred.
Yeah.
For what? You know, I don't get it. And this is the issue I'm starting to have with Ollie. Like, obviously, I'm still Ollie in because of the recruitment, but there's things I didn't like today. Again, like the lineup and then him smiling at the end of the game. Like, what is that about? Like,
well, the smiling, we don't know what that's about, to be honest.
Yeah,
but what I will say, what I'm talking about, my issue today, not with Ollie or not with you, it's just a setup. Half time, you should be saying, we 1-0 up, let's go out there, and there should be some sort of tactical change to say we secure the goal, because we know we'll be conceding goals. So we should be saying we don't let them catch us on the break, and we set up correctly, communicate on the pitch, and positionally be shaped correctly to avoid that. It came from a corner. So we had a corner in our half. It got broken out. Fred went to challenge for the ball near the halfway line. And so Gray wants to go that way, and Fred wants to go to our goal, obviously. And he got shoved off the ball completely. And then Gray had time to run at guys now. And by this point, we're tracking back and running. And I didn't see great communication. Like you said earlier, Shaw came across and left the free man, which was Townsend. And when he should have just communicated to Lindelof, bruv, you go, I'll cover, that sort of thing. Because Gray had run from the halfway line. Whoever was running through, they're not going to be able to maintain that sprint. You're going to be able to catch him or something. There's less chance to score. So I think there's a lack of communication, and completely to lose like that. That's the sort of goal we used to score under Fergie. Break, after 3-4 seconds, we're scoring a goal. They broke on us, opened us up completely. And I think that was the game plan. And that's why Benitez is probably happy right now, because his game plan, what he must have told the boys, worked. Hit them on the counter. They're vulnerable, as we've seen all season. So what do you think about the goal? And do you think there's anything we could have done to prevent it?
Yeah, I think Fred should have got to the ball first. I think he should have got to the ball first. And if he didn't think that he was going to win it, he should have fouled the guy just to stop it, you know. Because my thing is, like, Fred should be the perfect guy that you want to protect us from a counter-attack, you know. You know how you always put the smallest guy in the picture, the quickest guy in the world. But he's not, because he's just so weak, you know. It's like, and it's happened too many times. And then obviously, all right, he's got beaten to the ball, but then what are we doing about it positionally? I don't think we're that outnumbered. It was like maybe 3v3, but it's Luke Shaw is getting drawn to the ball, and he's left the guy out wide. And then I think something similar happened at the end of the game, where they had a goal that was ruled offside, with the guy to the shot. But again, it was the same thing. It was like the deja vu. He's got all this space on that side. So what is going on with our positioning? Who's talking? This is where you
do you think the keeper, who sees everything, do you think the keeper has to take some responsibility?
Well, he speaks English, doesn't he? You know,
I think so by now. I hope so.
Years, but I would
see. I know nothing. I know nothing. You know.
But I think really, I think these like small details. It's like this is where I say, like, we need Maguire, that sort of leadership. He's a guy that you often, when we do have him in the team, he's not. We don't really get stretched out or out of position too many times. And there was calls for Henderson last season because he was talking more than De Gea was, communicating. You know, you can't drop De Gea now because he's been on good form. I don't think it's just about the goalkeeper. I think the players as a team, you've got to be talking. And I just want to quickly touch on the McFred thing again. I'm sorry, but I think this is the main reason why we're not winning games, because of his obsession. If Ollie obsessed with McFred, it frustrates me. It frustrates me because I think he loves McTominay. He must do, because he's rushed him back. McTominay's just had an operation. He's rushed him back, and he's playing him like 90 minutes. All right, fair enough, but just play one of them. Why do we need to play both of them at home and drop a world-class midfielder like Paul Pogba, or play him on the left? You know, this is what I just do not understand. It's like, are we going for the title or not? Or are we just going to be happy with top 4? Because I'm sure we'll get top 4. But if we want to go for the title and win games at Old Trafford and improve our home form from last season, we've got to stop this McFred thing. Yeah. He touched on it in the midweek about someone asked him in the press, why do you keep playing these guys? And he says, I love their energy and I could trust them. All right. And, but all right, it's energy. They're given energy, but there's no point having energy if you don't know where to be position-wise,
Hinde, can you respond to some of these points then? Vaughan says, we didn't deserve to win that, conceding these 2 chances. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Vaughan has also said Ollie had a mental tactic of trying to force transitions as far up the pitch as possible by sending Fred out like a dog on heat. That's a good one. Matt says, I'm upset, mate. We had this game by the horns. Shaw made a huge mistake and Fred was physically missing. Agreed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Vaughan says, I think it's poor management to keep putting a lightweight like Fred in his positions. He's getting run over every time from corners in every game. Agree?
Yes.
Vaughan is also saying, Vaughan, you've got some good points here. Vaughan's also saying it's not De Gea that sets the team up for attacking corners, it's the coaches. Just to respond to that, what I'm saying with De Gea, I'm just wondering, does he have to take some responsibility? Because we saw Shaw cut across and leave his man to go and cover something that was already Lindelof was in the process of doing. Yeah. Lindelof could have said to him, or Shaw could have actually looked around and seen, I don't need to go. Or maybe the person in goal who sees everything, as a coach, we're both coach. As a coach, I would be saying, well, you should be signaling, Shaw, get back, stay with this guy. Or I see everything, you go and you cover, Bit like the other day when Lindelof was running back and he instructed Delo, you go, I'll cover the middle, sort of thing. You could visibly see him animated enough with his hand saying, point exactly to do that. And then shouting and brawling.
I'm just going to put down Shaw. He's an experienced enough player. I mean, the other 2 are kind of drawn to the ball. He shouldn't be getting drawn to the ball as well. He should just quickly check his shoulder, look what's around, all right, and then do it from there. Because they're, if he's shouting to them, they might not hear him. He's part of the back 4. They've got to organise that themselves.
And here we go. Matt saying, Fred had a great first half, but under pressure, he's physically weak. One CDM who can do the job alone, please. So saying
great point. Because I just feel that if we had a specialist CDM to play with Pogba, we would be high up the table. We wouldn't have any of these issues. Yeah. We don't have a specialist CDM, and this is, I think, the reason why Ollie plays Fred and Pogba. He likes them both individually.
Fred and Pogba?
I mean, Fred and McTominay.
Okay, yeah.
He likes them both individually. He doesn't want to drop any of them. But he knows that he's got to play them together because he doesn't. He really deep down he knows that one of them can't play the role by themselves. They're not CDMs naturally. They're not CDMs.
So Vaughan says, I think Varane takes more centre back blame than De Gea for the goal. Jogged back instead of bursting his ass like Mascherano once did. Okay, I have to go and check that again. I'm not sure. I trust your judgment. De Gea, this is from Matt. It said De Gea did shout, watch the man on the left, apparently. Okay, so it's all coming to light now. So we just put it out there. We asked, maybe he should have said something. Apparently he did, says Matt. Vaughan says, we can't play one CDM with Bruno. He's far too forward and lose the ball too much for one CDM. Okay, can I step in on this one?
Yeah.
This is my issue. Bruno, for all of his fantastic play, I do agree with you, Vaughan. I do think he's too far at the pitch. And I think it's all right saying he's number 10. He's got these stats. He scores, something like 44 goals in 80-something games for us, which is fantastic. But he's killing us at the moment and cheating by playing so far ahead, far forward. Once we're in their half and we're playing, then you can sit up there, okay? But with these teams, you're not going to, all right, you might be running up and pressing and doing all those kind of things, but it's not really effective because if you're killing the team. And that's what I'm saying. Our issue this season, we've been hitting on a break and we haven't got players, we've got players beyond the ball. At least if Bruno's there, he can be the first line of pressing from midfield free, rather than be ahead of the play, which he always seems to be. So he's got no defensive responsibility in that sense. So I think our structure, our shape, especially when we're 1-0 up, should be, Bruno, all right, sit back now, and we play with your head up and play, get the ball, turn, and then start playing at that. Not we're trying to pick you out, and then the ball gets broken down and the guys trying to pick you out are McTominay and Fred, and the ball gets broken down because we can't reach you. You're too far ahead. We're not going to reach you with pinpoint passes like that. They haven't got the ability, and then they break on us, which does seem to happen. So I think that's an issue as well that Bruno needs to sort of come back. So I agree with you there, Vaughan. Got some more comments here. Kareem, how you doing, man? Keep up the good work with the channel. Thank you, bruv. Respect. Vaughan says, I love Bruno, but he's becoming a liability. This is the thing. If you said that, most people say, what do you mean? What do you mean? But I think it's important that we really break it down, what we're seeing here about the shape, because our results, his results are great, the stats and that kind of thing. But the team results are suffering as a result, maybe, of him not being in shape. You're relying on two guys to do a job when we're getting braked on, which is not fair on the others. Kareem says, is it time to promote Garner?
Not Gardner.
I'll leave that to you, kid. You love Garner.
Yeah, I do love Garner. I want him to have one full season in Championship, but I think definitely next year he should be in the team. He's exactly what we need.
Can you explain what he offers, please?
I think his attributes in terms of like, because I watched the Villarreal game back in the midweek, and I actually did see that Pogba and Bruno, it was like a Man City sort of free. They kind of dropped a bit in that game. But what McTominay doesn't do is get the ball off the back four, and he doesn't drop deep enough to get the ball off the back four and progress the play, and that's exactly what Garner does. His ball retention is a lot better. His passing, his crisp passing, he's got a better range of passing, and I think if we have someone like Garner in the team, and we're keeping the ball, we'll tire the other team out. It's not, people probably think about his stature and all that, but his ball retention is just brilliant.
Can I add to that, bro? Yeah, I'm a big fan of Garner as well. And people might think, oh, well, he's not Ndidi because he doesn't, might not be physically, look at him physically, he might not be able to do that. But his positional shape and thing is better, and his IQ is better than McTominay or Fred, I imagine. And that's why he can sit in that position. He knows his role. He get it and retain the ball and progress the ball in that sense. And when it comes to defensive responsibility, he's a man. He gets himself in shape because he knows his physical deficiencies. He knows, this is what I say, he will just sit in shape, say, play through me. It's harder. We'll slow people up rather than the break. So, that's a good shout again by Garner. Big up Rich Sports. How you doing, man? Annoyingly hit on the break again. Yeah, put again in capital letters, Rich, because it's happening a lot, isn't it? It's good observation. Everyone seems to be seeing it now.
Yeah.
Shaw running out position cost us. So it's the Fred, it's the Shaw, it's the actual discipline of the side. A lot of issues there. Vaughan again saying a top coach will look at Bruno and set up his team for a transition whenever Bruno has the ball on his on the right in his own half. Yes. Sam Spurs for Life, how you doing, man? Big up, guys. Would you say big up to the Paxton Road Spurs channel? They're close to getting 1,000 subscribers, and they're smashing it at the moment. So even if you don't like Spurs, I don't, but I still go and check them out because the quality pundits on the show, and they're proper professional and things. So big up Sam, and he's saying, do you not think the players have to take more responsibility? A lot of people blaming Ollie, but the players must perform better. No, he's asking you the question, Kinde.
I'm gonna
players taking responsibility. Take it away.
For me, I'm going to say no, because at the moment, Ollie's not putting out the best team he possibly can to, give us the best chance of winning the game. If he put out, if you asked anyone on our show, any of our hosts or whatever, the best 11 Ollie could put out, it wouldn't involve McTominay and Fred. And I think if Ollie puts out the best 11 he could and the players don't perform, then I'll put it on the players, because like we said, if Ollie's not the top coach or tactician, we've got good enough world-class players to work it out on the pitch. But he's not giving us the best chance with the lineup that he's choosing.
In my response to this, Sam, you're saying, do you not think the players have to take more responsibility? Yes, they do have to take more responsibility. I think people have to start standing up, and this is where it gets a bit of an issue for me, because taking responsibility might be saying, if I'm I'm playing, if I'm playing in that side, I'll be saying, why doesn't Bruno come back? We're 1-0 up at half time. Why can't Bruno have his starting position here? And that to me is taking responsibility, because as a defender, as a midfielder, I don't want that people like Townsend and or Gray or whether Toure or these great players in the Premiership running at me like that and Bruno up there. And I mean, granted, there's one chance when Bruno ran 100 yards to get back and showed a lot of responsibility then, but that's one time in the game. your starting position should be a lot deeper when we're winning and play like that. So we're more responsible, a la Juve in the 80s or something, 1-0 game done, that sort of thing. So I do think the players do need to take more responsibility, because sometimes you have to say, right, the results aren't good. The coach maybe or the management are not telling us to do these things. I don't want to lose everything else, so I'm going to demand we do these things as well. And taking responsibility could also mean shouting at players on the pitch. Roy Keane was someone, for example, who would take responsibility visibly on the pitch, would call people out and say, that's not, you shouldn't be doing that, or that's not good enough. What we're seeing now is like, oh, unlucky Fred. All right, did anyone say anything to Fred? I would have liked, personally, my thing was he'd say, go over to Fred and say, what the hell are you doing? And none of this mask in your mouth, say, what the hell are you doing? The thing. Also, that's taking responsibility as far as I'm concerned. But these days, it doesn't really happen that much. But
to touch on Bruno again, if he was a sort of number 10 like Jack Grealish, who could carry the ball, I wouldn't mind him playing far up the pitch, because you know that he's going to draw players out and all that. But he's more of a passer and things like that, so he can play deeper, and then he make that run. He's not like a classic number 10, like a dribbler who could carry the ball like Costa, Grealish, or Virgil, or anything like that. So he can't get away with it.
And like you say, it's easier for teams if you've got numbers there. They can't play through you, as we know. How many times we defended the lead, which is by having the position shape. That's our team, not Man United. Rich Sport says Ollie out when players make stupid errors. A lazy argument. Talking to Sam, Spurs for life. Maybe Ollie should change formation for one game. You never know. My issue with that is that we haven't even got mastered our formation yet. So I don't want to be changed to another formation until we master and get a black belt in this formation we're playing at the moment. At the moment, we're still on the white belt.
A Man City type of 4-3-3, but he's changed it to this 4-2-3-1. And I think a proper 4-3-3 would suit us more of the players that we've got. It would help McTominay a lot.
And that means a manager who's convicted enough to say, Bruno, you stay here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? That's taking responsibility.
He's doing that at Sporting. I don't know why he put him as number 10. But
because he's allowed, that's what I'm saying, he's cheating.
I mean, his stats show that he's doing well there, but it's not benefiting the team, him playing too far up.
So Vaughan saying, look at Chelsea under Lampard versus Thomas Tuchel. There's a major difference there with management, clear like night and day. You're frowning. What do you think?
You know what? Well, let's see what Thomas Tuchel does this season, because he came in and he gave them a lift like Ollie did when first 12 games with us, and obviously won the Champions League. But so did Di Matteo. He gave Chelsea a lift and won the Champions League, and he was sacked by the next season. They're struggling right. They're 1-1 right now against Southampton. They're struggling. So let's wait to the end of the season to judge Thomas Tuchel.
Okay. Paxton Road TV. Close to 1,000. You make sure you get there, boys. Tune into the Paxton Road. Says my boys, Man United agenda. Big up, gents. Omondi for MU hot seat. Yeah, I'll take the. You mean Ollie's job? Yeah, not Sola's. United always start off bad at the beginning of the season. That's from Mike. Yeah, Mike is someone as well. I mean, we've bumped heads before in the past. Myself, my brother, and Mike. And Mike probably proven to be right, because he was questioning whether he had a brand of football. And this was last year. Yeah. This year, it's still the same. So anyway, but at least he's not bringing it up to show us up. Kareem says, what are your thoughts on Pogba? He looked upset after Villarreal game. Also, why start off the bench? Doesn't he need rest?
Why? He's a footballer. Rest for what? Did Ronaldo or Pogba need a rest today? This is a question.
Okay, let's go through the questions quick. Let's get this done. Chelsea have a very good squad. Should Thomas Tuchel get sacked if they don't win the league? In a word, no. Everyone's made them favourites because they've won the European Cup or something. I don't think they're favourites.
It's luck. It's just the luck. It was just momentum. I don't think they'll do well this year.
I don't think they're favourites. I don't think they're favourites. For some reason, people think they're favourites. Yeah, I think City, Liverpool should be favourites. Jay says, can't stand these Fred haters. He did well today. Okay, fair enough. It's good to have opinion in here. So be great if you could explain how he done well. I'm not joking. I'm being serious. If you could explain how he done well. What are you laughing about, Z?
Everyone sees the game differently.
And he says, what I want to see is a Omondi team next week, game formation, etc. I think it would be a good lineup. Omondi, I think I've set your homework there. Okay, assign me some homework to set up a team. Sam's personal life said leaders football in general lack leaders on the pitch. Players hide behind, well, what's that I told you to do by the manager? Leaders on the pitch react to situations when needed. That's a great point. Do you think we're missing that these days, brother, about leaders on the pitch? And
you would argue that Maguire is a leader, Ronaldo is a leader.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if that's it. It's just to set up.
I agree with that. I think we're lacking in general in the game today. I think we're lacking leaders like that. I think you need someone to really drive the team on and put a bit of fear and you want to play well, because otherwise you're going to get grilled by your captain or you're going to get grilled by your manager, and that should be the fear. I think not. Getting, I don't know.
I mean, you saw Ronaldo at the end of the game. You saw him like under his breath cursing and
Okay,
he's angry. What he's come here to win the league. He's not come here to.
Here we go. Vaughan says he's won a European club, bruv, with a team Lampard had at mid-table. This is to endorse.
Where's Di Matteo? Where's Di Matteo now?
All right. Di Matteo's here and Tuchel is up there. I think Tuchel is a very good coach.
I'm not disputing that, but give him a full season in Premiership. See what he does.
And he's doing it now. He's 1-0, 1-1, and he's probably made a few changes. Managed the game. He's probably managed the game and turned it round at Southampton.
We'll wait to the end of the season. We'll discuss it.
Sam's personal life is saying, I also think some of the Man United players are starstruck with Ronaldo being at the club. I see too many players thinking they have to play through Ronaldo. What do you think about that, bro?
I'm not sure about that.
I think there is an element of maybe in training, you're looking up to this guy, want to do as he does, and all this kind of thing.
Yeah,
to starstruck, I wouldn't say that. I would say that Bruno, especially, is always looking to pick him out and bypassing fullbacks who are overlapping. I saw a situation today where Bruno was on the right, and it got to the point where Wan-Bissaka was standing there. And he was just in no man's land, because I'm thinking, Wan-Bissaka, do the overlap and just open it up so give Bruno more options, because he knew Bruno wasn't going to pass to him. Bruno wanted to do the cross. Bruno wanted to do everything, that sort of thing. I'm not calling out Bruno, but I'm just saying I want to encourage these guys to overlap and by playing it in a few more times, But it makes a good point. And that's a good observation by Sam there. Paxton Road again said, don't need to bring it up. The score, boys. A draw isn't a bad result. It's frustrating, but 1 point is better than no points. And that's from Mike. Yeah. All right. That's brilliant. Thank you so much. Been some really great comments, guys. Interesting views. It made me think as well. There's a few things I have to question as well about, like, responsibility for the goal. We've had a few varying views as well about that. In summary, Kahinde, my brother, please give me a little summary about how you feel about Ollie and the management. How you think we can improve after international break, going forward and defending and not conceding anymore?
How I feel about Ollie at this moment in time, I feel that
the whole management of the club and how we're managed as a team.
As the management, I'm not happy with it at the moment, to be honest. I just think he's got to stop the McFred thing. I think if he stops that, the problems will be pretty much over. It will solve a lot of problems that we're having.
How can we improve our patterns of play? Go after the.
I think what would help, I would like to see personally, is we need to change to that 4-3-3 that City play with one holder and then two either side of the holding.
So player. Bring Bruno back
to come back, because it would help someone if he chooses McTominay or Fred. It would help them a lot to have, when they receive the ball, have those two options to play too. When Bruno's too high up the pitch, it makes us think, whoever's in midfield, the pass is going to be harder. We better get better patterns to play in that triangle like that. So
have you seen any progression over the last 7 games? Is it promising for you? Do you see like that we can improve?
No, because I feel like obviously we've made a few new signings. I think Varane settled in quite well. I thought Sadio was positive today. He started to get into his game a bit, but he's still not into the rhythm 100%. So it's going to take a while for these players, especially Ronaldo as well, to integrate with the team and how the setup is. Okay,
just from Matt, he's saying to Mike, that's Tottenham mentality about taking a draw being acceptable. This is United. This feels like a loss to me. These teams seem to know this from Andy Herbert. These teams seem to know how Man United line up and how they play, and that's been affecting results of late. Yeah, I do sort of agree with that. Vaughan says he's going to go mad and play 3 at the back with Pogba right back soon. Jay says, I've watched Fred. Okay, because Jay said earlier, we asked him to give the pros for Fred because he was endorsing Fred. So here we go. Says Jay says, I've watched Fred. Instead of the game, 90% of his passes was forward. He made 2 minor mistakes, and the one everyone was saying he should have took Gray down and got a yellow. No. What about the defenders? Okay, so he's saying 90% of his passes are forward, progressive passes. He's saying, what do you think about that, bro? 2 minor mistakes.
To be honest, I only saw him give the ball away a couple of times, and he does try to look to play it forward. That's not my issue, but I just think that he's not a specialist in that role, and we're Manchester United. We need to have a specialist in that role, and I just think that I don't know what he's doing after training, but he needs to go to the gym.
Well, the same one as Ronaldo. You see,
get on the weights. Just get on the weights and just, I don't know. What, has he not got his membership? Has it been lost?
It's expired.
Yeah, is he just I don't know. Is he doing capoeira instead? Or I don't know what he's doing, but that's an issue for me because you shouldn't be losing battles like that in midfield. I think
Fred needs a lot of confidence. I think after today, his confidence it's not going to be good for him because the majority of people will be saying it's his mistake. But as Jay says here, he's endorsing him. So we've got a lot of balance here.
Yeah, he was the first part of it, but the second part was Luke Shaw. I'm not going to dismiss that or play this part in it.
And Thomas Tuchel, as we speak about him, he's just scored another. He's got a team to score another goal. Everyone says he ain't a defensive midfielder, so why all the blame on him? It's just Fred. Is this actually Fred? Keeps coming saying all this. I know it's Jay. So 2 minor mistakes. It was a major mistake that led to the goal. It's only minor when it's covered by others. United fans need to get with the times. It's from Paxton Road. You're not the United of the 90s. Team fancy their chances against United these days. It's a good shout. Vaughan says, I think Fred had a good first half, but I did see Cavani got to the third centre-back after giving him the ball. So I think Fred had a good first half, but I did see Cavani got to third centre-back after giving him the ball. I'm not confused. Hi, Cosman. How you doing? He said the team has an underdog mentality. Look how they perform at home in the Champions League and in the Cup final and semi-final. The transition from that to Frankfurt would be painful. Leave Fred alone, says Solar, watching the show. And finally, Football United says, it feels like a loss. The mentality of the club doesn't change no matter the team. Spurs wouldn't mind, but we do and always will. Everton will see this as a victory. All right. One last thing. Thank you. Oh, there's so many comments today, guys. Thank you. So don't play Fred. Ollie, you're watching. Yeah. Okay. So you feeling any better after our little discussion, bro? Do you feel that we're solving any issues here?
Oh, it's not going to make
guys in the comments are solving the issues.
I don't have Ollie's number. If I did, I'd be calling him and be saying these things. I just tell him to tune in every week. Because we can't solve the problems. We can just have our opinions. But
yeah.
The
thing is,
everyone knows it's just the midfield. That's it. And I don't get what he sees that McTominay, if Fred's playing the deeper role now, what does McTominay offer as a number 8?
I agree. He doesn't offer much.
He's not creative enough to play that role.
I'm talking about quality on the ball. When's the last time you've seen him play a beautiful through ball or a little give and go or creative something that opens things up?
To me because it's like Van der Beek and Pogba on the bench. Watch these two guys play ahead of them.
Yeah,
that's just like. Yeah, Mourinho had the obsession for Laney, and Ollie's got this obsession with McTominay and Fred, and it frustrates me.
One thing I would say, I mean, this is a good discussion. Shaw, poor decision on the goal. Mr. Omondi, your thoughts? It's not just Shaw. I don't think Shaw was he's trying to do the right thing. But obviously, experience by now should tell him, I've got to scan 360. He should have done a 360. He said, right, Lindelof's there. If I go over, am I showing I've got more pace than Lindelof? I've got to show him up. Or should De Gea be saying to me, no, hold. Or should I have done a 360 and realize, let me stay here and make sure this guy don't get in on us, that sort of thing. So it's indecision. It's lack of communication. There's a few players there that, I know Fred messed up and they broke on us and everything else, but then we still had to deal with the rest of it. And they before they finished their dinner. So I think the communication was really poor. There's players there like Lindelof should have said, no, this, you know. Or Shaw should have said to Lindelof, you got that, I got this. Or De Gea should have said, or someone else around might have said, no, you know, organised it. This is what Sam Spurs for Life was saying earlier about leaders on the pitch and players who would actually have that responsibility. Maybe Harry Maguire with his big slow truck was getting back. He could have shouted out his big northern voice, oi, and given instructions about how to deal with that break. You know, so I'm not putting things on players. Likewise, I'm not putting things on managers or saying Ollie out or anything like that. It's just disappointing. We move on as United. We just want to improve. That's the thing. How do we improve what we've got at the moment? That's the main thing for us. If Ollie gets sacked, it's not our decision, is it? It's not down to us. But we just want to see a good brand of football. We want to see us stop conceding goals. And we want to, as fans, we just want to try and sort of work out how are we going wrong here? What went wrong? And this is a good discussion because we still haven't got the answers. I mean, we're not professionals. We might go and listen to some experts and tell us something. We might say, well, okay, maybe it's that. But it might not. It's still, they still don't get it right, you know. So everyone, this is what's great about football. We can sit down in the barbershop or come around my house tonight and let's discuss it some more. You know, that's how it is. It's a wonderful discussion, isn't it? Because this is why we love the game. So big up to everybody here. Still my comments coming through. I'm going to end the show now because we're waffling on a bit. We know the result. We're disappointed. That's the main thing. Please hit the like and subscribe. We will do, man. McTominay was the best player in the final. Has been in the favourite of Alex Ferguson, Mourinho, and he's a good player. I don't think he's the best player in the final. I thought he worked hard. I don't think that makes you a great player in the final against Villarreal if you're talking about that. He worked hard, and that's it.
I don't have an issue with McTominay as a player. I have an issue with McTominay and Fred playing together. I just want one of them playing with Pogba or Van der Beek. That's fine. I don't mind it. But you remember years ago, people had this thing about Darren Fletcher. They hated him. They said, no, I don't know what this guy's about and all that. And he came good. McTominay's got the right attitude, but he just needs to be used in a way where, you know. Yeah.
And he also likes to start 20-man ball brawls, said
yeah. That's funny today.
Okay, you're winning some money, are you, Andy Herbert? So come see me. Come see me. Give you my bank details. Solo saying Football United, mate. Fred takes all the blame when things go wrong on the pitch. McTominay's favourite for Ferguson. How is that? Scottish, maybe. Cosmo says communication brilliantly put by Omondi. Thank you. Yep. Well, it's important. Every team sports all about communication, isn't it? Yeah. Patrick Rose says, everyone subscribe to this channel. Thank you, Mike. And yeah, good luck getting your 1,000. You're nearly there, I think. McTominay is not fit. He was lost today. Kahinde on your page. McTominay is an emergence, one of United's big players. When you watch Man United pick their team for a big game, McTominay's name is in. He's a good character and a great trainer.
Yeah. Not good with
Fred. No good. And Solo, this message Solo from Matt says, that's Solo. He says he has made the biggest mistake today. It's not his fault. He ain't a CDM, so he must be on his fault for picking players.
Yes, it is on his fault.
Not in, yeah.
He needs to take responsibility. He picks the team.
Well, at the end of the day, it's always the manager who gets his head chopped. So someone could play poor. It's like Bruno missed a penalty the other day. He's not going to get sacked for that, is he? I mean, it's the manager. Do you understand? The manager has to take the buck at the end of the day.
But I think on our coaching staff, we've got one of the best CDMs that we had, Michael Carrick. Yeah. Surely he should be saying to Ollie, look, you should do this, or, you know, give some advice about. I think they're trying to mold these guys into.
I know people don't agree with me, but I'm just going to say this quick thing. I watched Rodri from Man City. I watched Sergio Busquets.
Yeah.
I think these two guys are one of the best. You know, pinball. You can play it in like when I say pinball, you play it into them. It's like pinball. They pop, pop, pop. You play like you can build around them because they're static. You don't see them running, making tackles. You know, they just read the game. I think Matic can do that because they say, "Oh, he can't play him because he doesn't run. He's too old." But how old is Sergio Busquets? How old is Rodri? Rodri just stands there.
Fernandinho's still doing it.
But, well, Fernandinho is a bit more of a different. Beast. You know? I'm saying
36 in his late age. Or
but I'm saying that role is if you've got the brain like Matic has, you don't need this running. This is why I always complain. Everyone's complaining about Matic. He has got the legs. I'm thinking, well, he doesn't have to do much because he keeps himself in shape. He sits back in the back three when we're building. He comes up. He's got intelligence. You don't see that. And players, hold on, players like that, people don't appreciate because you don't see them.
Yeah, it's true.
You know,
he
doesn't need to tackle. Just gets himself in shape. Yeah. So come through me. They have to pass backwards or do whatever. So I think Matic still remains our best so-called. Everyone's crying out for a DM. If we're going to play a holding guy or play that Man City way with two sort of, even the Tottenham way, they play Hallberg and Ali with with Skip, I think. But it's like an anchor man. I think Matic, put him as an anchor man and say just hold there. Yeah. He's a Rolls Royce. When you see man weights him off the ball like Fred, don't see that happen. Yeah. You know, people try, but he's a big 6'4" unit. It's like no, not today. Get off me. You know. He's a baller like that. So I think Matic is still there, but obviously people think it's about running, determination. This is why people endorsing McTominay, saying he's man of the match in the game, because they're saying the running, determination, those characteristics. I'm like, no. It's about brain. You know, you get players who got so much brain and wisdom and IQ that they can still compete in the Premiership. Look at Coutinho from Wolves. Yeah, you ever see him sprinting or look at Neves? That's why I was endorsing Neves. Neves ain't the guy who's going to be sprinting and running back or being out of position and all this kind of thing. And running, you know, he's always there, bam, 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 with the ball like that because he's got the brain to balance his what you might call his deficiencies. So I think people like attack, and all kind of thing. Oh, you got to be running, you got to be working hard. Fred, McTominay are typical players with good attributes and that with those sort of characteristics, but not with the quality of positioning, holding the ball, building, popping it around, that kind of thing. That's just my opinion. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's time to wind up. Have you enjoyed the show, Kahinde?
Yeah. Discussing some good points. Obviously, we got an international break coming up, so you know, hopefully we could get on the show again and bring up more topics.
Have you guys enjoyed the show watching on? Have you come here to, is anything solved for you guys? Anything that you want to add? Just come in to watch Man United Agenda and we can discuss this over and over again because this is what we do on this show. We're not here. I mean, the first few comments were saying, oh, Ollie out, all this kind of thing. I hope everyone's calmed down now. Just say there's a way to go about things and a way to sort of address these issues. You know?
We haven't done the ratings, have we? I feel like to give everyone a 6.
Yeah. All right, I'm down with that. Let's give everyone a 6, and let's move forward. And hopefully, but at the end of the international break, everyone comes back fit and well, no COVID issues or quarantines or anything like that, and we get back and we mean business because tomorrow there's a big game, Man City, Liverpool, and it's high quality. High-tech football they're playing, and they both got brand of football that they play. It's very attractive on the eye and very successful as they've been over the last couple of years. They've probably been the best two teams thing. So this is what we have to measure up to and manage games out, you know. So yeah, I'm interested in watching that game as a football fan and maybe to get some tips about how to play centre CDM. Fabinho, Rodri. I mean, yeah, you can't get better than that. Anyway, thank you, Kahinde, my brother. Yeah, and enjoy the rest of the day. I'm gonna go off and listen to Luther Vandross. Give me the reason, because that's what song resonates with me today about the thing. Go and listen to the lyrics and be like, what's there to say if there's not much to talk about? Whatever happened to all the loving we had? You know, it's true. Yeah, give me the reason to want you back, Ollie. Why should I forgive and forget? Do you know? Tell me how. Anyway, God bless you, bro. God bless everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we're out of here.